Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dean List, back with another one. So, Monolith. The big day is finally here, December 6th. Monolith has officially been released. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of it. I've definitely seen that some people, enjoy it, some people don't. So it's getting a lot of mixed reviews, so I definitely want to hear from you guys. Anyway, in this game, I wanted to try out Belica. This is my first game on Monolith, actually, so I wanted to see what the differences were between, this new map and Legacy. I was a little confused here because on our team we have two carriers. We have a Murdoch and a Twin Blast. We have a Howitzer and then we have a Grux, so it's a pretty interesting team comp. But I was excited to see what the differences were. So here's my first game. Here's the video. I hope you guys enjoy. So in this match, I quickly threw a deck together. So I'm not going to slow down the video and really go over what cards I chose. I'm definitely going to do another video just explaining my guide and build for Belica later. So don't worry about that right now. Okay, first things first, I'm really excited for these jump pads. Like, those are pretty lit. Like, they were pretty sick to be able to just, quickly get to whatever lane that you're going to, and there's some in the middle of the jungle too, so like that was really, really sick to see that. I wish actually that Epic would have just implemented the jump pads in the Legacy map as opposed to, creating a new map, but I'll get to that later. So I started this match off in the off lane. I think Belica is good either mid lane or off lane. She's definitely able to go in the off lane because she can go 2v1 against the carry and the support without too much difficulty, just because her wave clear is so good. One thing that I should have done, you'll notice here, is that I chose the Silver Spear. I definitely should have chosen wards, and you'll definitely see why in the next 2 minutes or so. So mistakes were definitely made here. I got fucked up by that Grux. There's no other way to put it. I shouldn't have pushed up like that 2v1 against the support and the carry without wards. So definitely go get wards. With movement speed the way that it is, you can get ganked really, really easily. And you're not going to be able to get out of it. So like I said, definitely get wards to start the match off. This mixtape Murdoch, for whatever reason, he was, being really, really aggressive. So pretty much in the beginning of the match, I was looking to see if I could get a kill on him. So any chance, any opportunity that I saw that he didn't have his support with him, I was calling for a gank. As you'll see, my Grux was really, really good with that, coming over and assisting me to secure kills. Great gank by Grux on that one. He was able to come over undetected and land a smash and grab, and we just beat them like they stole something on that one. So that was a really good gank by Grux. One thing that you may or may not have noticed is that last hitting is really, really important now. Amber doesn't fall on the ground like it did before when you missed the last hit, so you got to make sure you're landing those last hits or else you're going to fall behind in CXP. Since this map is a lot smaller now and movement speed has been increased, rotating is, I think, a lot more important, and you should be able to rotate between any of the lanes really, depending on where you're trying to go. Like obviously if you're on off lane, you don't need to go to the opposite side lane, but definitely rotate to middle if you see that there's a huge team fight. If there's people low, you ever ultimate, that sort of thing. So that's what I did here. So what are your guys' impression of the new map? One of the things that I like about it is definitely the jump pads. As I said before, they're pretty cool. And then second, it just helps you get back to your lane a lot quicker than you would be able to in Legacy. It was kind of a chore to get back to your lane. It took so long, and most of the time, if you didn't push your lane up too far, you lost a tower. So that's one of the things that I definitely enjoy about the new map. One thing that's going to take some time adjusting to is how small they made some of the abilities. So I mean, as you can see here with Belica, like her Void Bomb is almost like a third of the size smaller than what it was on Legacy. So that's definitely going to make it harder to land. I'm also, with her stun, that it's pretty much impossible to land with how fast that people move with the movement speed buff. So that's going to take some time to get used to. So I might have gotten 2 kills on that, but like I said, Grux is the MVP.
An enemy tower is under attack.
Another thing that I like is that wards are on a refresh as opposed to you always having 2 charges with the shadow wards. I like that because before I thought that wards were kind of abused, where as soon as you put 2 down, you could go back to base and you'd have another 2 that you could put down on the battlefield. So that's another change that I definitely am enjoying thus far.
An enemy has been slain.
So like I said, wards definitely save lives. If I didn't have a ward there, Steel would have been able to definitely get some hits on me. Murdoch as well, I may have died. So like I said, I can't stress it enough. Put wards in your decks.
An allied tower is under attack. Enemy tower destroyed.
Alright, freeze, timeout, flag on the play. Epic, please explain this to me. My ult just did 79 damage to a Murdoch. I know he didn't have that much of his mana missing. It was maybe a third of it was missing. But that's ridiculous that her ult now only does 79 damage to a Murdoch. Depending on level 5, depending on how much mana is missing. Because it has absolutely no base damage. I think that nerf was a little too much. Because no one's going to build mana at all. I don't really think carries are going to build mana. I don't really think fighters are going to build mana either in most of their decks, so I think that was a nerf that was a little too harsh. Not really a guide tip, but just a tip in general. Definitely start including the smaller, like minor cards in your decks, because you're getting 1 CXP as opposed to 3 at a time. So, like I said, definitely include those smaller minor casts. Include those cast tokens, those health potions, those mana potions if you have doubles of those. Just because you're gaining 1 CXP as opposed to 3. Another good gank by Grux. I wish we would have been able to get that steal. He did that shield charge and was able to get away. Really got outside of the range of my ult. So wasn't able to get him, but nonetheless we were able to get another kill on their carry and just prevent him from farming. So it's a good play for us. Another change that I like, I think Epic definitely listened to us in the forums, is that the towers are a little harder to destroy now. That's definitely a welcome change. Minions can't just leave your lane and minions come and they just destroy your tower. Like, I don't really see that happening anymore, so that was a good fix by creating this map. What do you guys think of these new jungle camps? I actually like them. I typically play casters, so it's a welcome change for me. Casters have a lot of wave clear, so they can definitely clear these camps really fast once they get to like level 7 or 8. So it's definitely something that I like, but I can see how if you're a jungler, if you don't have a circlet of health or some sort of lifesteal or something like that, you're definitely going to take a lot of damage from these new jungle minions.
Allied tower is under attack. An allied tower is under attack.
Once again, Epic, I hope you see this. That should have killed him. I mean, you say that Belica is supposed to be a burst caster. If someone has pretty much 15 to 20% of their health, I should be able to kill them especially if they have no mana. Not really seeing that, so kind of disappointing there. I know for sure that Steel would have died on Legacy with whatever hero balancing that they were using previously. So, yeah, definitely they should definitely consider moving that back to where it was. I think that she's a little underpowered right now with her ult doing no base damage.
An allied tower is under attack. An allied tower is under attack. An ally has been slain. Killing spree. An allied tower is under attack.
So here I saw that there was a huge team fight in mid lane, so instead of going back to off lane, I decided to go mid. Quang, he ended up diving the tower, so that ended up being an easy kill. Was able to just kill him with my drone and then the tower aggro. Should have ended up shooting Steel with my ult as opposed to Grux. I knew that it wasn't going to kill Grux, but I was kind of just curious to see how much damage it would do since I saw how much damage it did to Steel. So that's kind of why I did that. This brings me to another thing that I'm not too particularly fond of. movement speed penalties. So when you're shooting, there's a movement speed penalty when you're backing up, when you're moving sideways as well. So it's really easy to run away, and you'll see that in your matches as well. That if you're shooting at someone, you're a ranged character, and they just start, just running backwards. They just turn around and start running backwards. They're going to be able to get away from you if you don't have a gap closer like Blink Shot or Blink Charm, or one of the abilities that's a gap closer. The lag was super real right there. Took me so long to kill those minions, almost died, actually. So yeah, it's another thing I noticed a little bit with the new upgrade, the new map, is that it was lagging a lot while I was playing.
Enemy tower destroyed. An allied tower is a killing spree.
Alright, I'm just going to come out and say it right now. I think Grux is a little bit OP. I mean, he has his slides. He slides into your DMs. He then has a smash and grab, and then you're completely obliterated just like right after that. Like there's absolutely nothing that you can do. You can't avoid a smash and grab. His slide, I think, is a little too long as well. So I think that's something that Epic definitely needs to look into and just like reevaluate is Grux. I think right now he's going to definitely be the best jungler that you can choose, and he'll probably be chosen in every single match, to be honest. I also think by far Howitzer is definitely going to be the best middle laner. He has so much CC. All of his CC is an escape pretty much. So he has his ultimate, he has his mines that he can put down. So I mean, there's almost impossible to really gank him unless he is low on mana and he doesn't have his abilities available to him. So I think he's definitely going to be the best middle laner.
An allied tower is under attack.
I also think how easy it is to just navigate the map. It definitely makes the game a little bit more like COD, like a team deathmatch kind of game. I mean, as you can see there, me and like two of my teammates were able to just, easily just move across the map. We saw that Murdoch and Steel were pushing that tower, and we were able to just secure a kill like that quickly, just based on the increased movement speed. So that's another thing that I think they definitely should look at.
allied tower is under attack. Your power grows.
I think that health regen is going to be huge on this new map, especially among casters and for tanks. I think also that lifesteal is going to be huge for your carries and for your fighters. I think that most people aren't going to really be building health and armor anymore. I don't think that's going to be the meta anymore. I think it's going to be having a lot more sustain on this map, which will help you farm and just help you, stay on the battlefield. I'll have more on that though when I actually finalize and create my build.
Allied tower. Your power grows. An allied tower destroyed.
Not going to keep beating a dead horse here, but that definitely should have killed him.
An ally has been slain. Enemy tower is under attack.
Mistakes were made here. I didn't realize that one of my teammates was low and the other had just died, and that I was going to be by myself here. I should have just retreated. So yeah, mistakes were made. Same thing here. I thought my teammates were gonna follow up with me and engage, but they ended up disengaging. I think maybe one or two of them may have died actually. And yeah, kind of same thing here. Mistakes were made. I wanted to engage on that Grux there. Our Grux ended up pinging to retreat though, which hindsight being 2020 was probably the better idea since Murdoch he was building crit, so he did hit kind of hard. So not really sure if we would have been able to win that 2v2.
Tower is under attack.
A few of my teammates ended up dying middle lane, so I rotated. Losing a tier 2 tower is a lot more important in this game than it was on Legacy. If you lose a tier 2 tower now, you lose access to your jump pads, so it takes a lot longer to get back into lane. So that's really important for you to make sure that you can get down their tier 2 towers before they can get down one of yours.
Power grows.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure why Twin Blast ended up trying to chase down that Grux. Pretty bad decision. It was a 3v2, and yeah, I wasn't going to engage on that, so he ended up dying. Yeah, not really sure what Quang was thinking there. I have pretty good wave clear, so not really sure why he decided to grab the tower there. Wasn't going to be able to get it. But yeah, it was a great kill for us. Ended up stopping them from getting that tower. And we ended up getting another CXP advantage. For you guys who've been able to play a game on the new map, how long have your games been? I didn't really find the games to be that long on Legacy. Like, I actually enjoyed having a solid, 45 to an hour long match. Thought that those were a lot more satisfying than the games that would go 30 minutes, because that means that the two teams were evenly matched. But yeah, how long have your games been on Monolith?
Killing spree.
Not gonna lie, I don't really understand why they changed damage from physical and energy to ability and basic. I really wish they would have kept it the other way. Right now, it's actually pretty confusing. That's one of the reasons I didn't actually use pin in my deck, just because I didn't understand it at the time when I was building my deck. But that's something that I wish that they would actually change back.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy has been slain.
Yeah, I realized that I didn't have any mana there, and that I probably wasn't going to be able to kill that Grex even though he was sort of low health and Howitzer was there, so I think it was the right decision that Howitzer and I, we ended up just disengaging on that. One thing that I wish my team would have focused on is the Raptors. The Raptors, they provide 1,000 CXP, which is a full card point, to whoever last hits it. So that's definitely another way for you to get a level advantage over the opposing team. And since we were closest to the Raptors, we definitely should have used that. The only thing though is that the Raptors, they do a lot of damage to you, so you need to have another person, whether it's your carry or your jungler, help you with it. But yeah, we definitely should have focused on that a little bit more in this map. Yeah, I think that might be a bug or I started lagging or something, but I wasn't able to fire my ult there. That's kind of why I just ran into the tower, like a chick without my head, and then just ran out. That is also another reason why I bring up that having life regen is going to be really key on this map because, like, as you can see, like I lost almost 1,000 health there, but since I started building life regen, I was able to make most of that back up without having to go back to base.
Power grows.
Yeah, so you should definitely not take the jungle buff if you're a caster or support. Yeah, I kind of just took it. I didn't know what the jungle buff actually did, so I wanted to see what it did, and I was kind of curious. But yeah, definitely leave the jungle buff for your carry and for your jungler. Same thing with gold buff, that's definitely for your carry. One thing I will say though is that if the game gets towards late game and you're behind on CP, definitely pick up that gold buff. I know if you're a support you'll definitely be behind on CP, so definitely pick up the gold buff to try to catch up. That's another way to, once the rest of your team has already maxed out their card points, that if you're behind you can slowly inch your way back up and reach 60 card points. I rotated a little bit late here, but Howitzer was actually split pushing the other lane, so we were able to get a inhib, and we were able to secure 2 kills once I got there, so that was a great exchange for us. We lost the tier 2 tower, but we were able to get an inhib and 2 kills.
An enemy inhibitor is down. Slain. The power grows.
Not gonna lie, when I pinged everyone go to Orb Prime, I actually didn't know where it was. I hadn't seen it on the map at that point yet, so I ended up just pushing this lane, and I figured that my teammates, since 2 of them are already dead, that they'd be able to do it by themselves. But yeah, I had absolutely no idea where Orb Prime was at this time on the map. That brings me to another question. What would you guys consider the most challenging or confusing part of the new map? Because I would definitely say I'm still getting to know where a lot of the things are, so that's definitely been the most challenging thing for me.
Annihilation.
I thought this was pretty funny. On the old map, I would have definitely died here. Like, there's no way I would have been able to get away with it taking 5 seconds for you to get into travel mode. But on this new map, since there's movement speed is steady, I was able to just run away. As long as I didn't look back, no one was going to be able to catch me. So yeah, it's one of the things that I still find to be a little disconcerting, I guess is a good word to say, about this new map, is that you can just, as long as no one on the opposing team has some sort of gap closer. Like, you're going to be able to get away from them if you just run away.
Enemy double kill. The enemy core is under attack.
Belica is definitely a card I'm going to add to most of my decks when I'm playing a caster or carry. I didn't add it this time until I was at 60 card points just because I forgot. I never usually play Blink cards, especially when it was on Legacy, but I definitely feel like it's going to be a necessity on this new map if you don't have any kind of escape. So that was my first match. Ended up going 13-3-8, which wasn't too bad. My first impressions of the map are generally positive. I think that it's going in the right direction, but there are a few things that I think Epic definitely needs to shore up in terms of balancing, in terms of cooldowns, in terms of minions, like little things like that that need to be fixed before I can say that this map is better than Legacy. But like I said before, I would love to hear you guys' opinion, so please leave comments down below if if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, that sort of thing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be releasing new videos and guides weekly. My next video will probably actually be a guide for Belica, just breaking down my finalized build. If there are other heroes that you want to see me play, definitely leave a comment down below. With that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying Monolith, enjoying Paragon, and peace. I'll see you guys in the next video.